Hey, what's going on, guys? So for today's video we have The Weeknd, I Feel It Comin', which seems to be connected to his Starboy video with the Daft Punk picture on the wall. But anyways, I'm going to go through all of the symbolism, give an esoteric breakdown, and compare and contrast it with some other things in pop culture. So let's begin. So in my view, this video is borrowing a lot of aesthetic imagery from 2001: A Space Odyssey, one of the most important films in understanding the foundations of occult Hollywood and the occult music industry. Here's an image from The Weeknd's video. Here's an image from 2001: A Space Odyssey. You can kind of see the comparison in aesthetics. The first video in the series of videos, he was a Starboy, right? And in 2001: A Space Odyssey, it's all about the birth of the star child. So Starboy, star child, you can see the connection. The overall setting of this video, in my opinion, is somewhat reminiscent to The Dawn of Man, the opening monkey scene in 2001: A Space Odyssey, the archaic, rocky, otherworldly vibe. Yes, it's a little bit different because the colors in the background are different. There's no black monolith, but I can't help but to think of the monkey scene and the black monolith and the rocky background in connection with the setting in this video. I Feel It Coming obviously has a sexual connotation to it, and like 2001: A Space Odyssey, which has the entire film built off this macrocosmic sexual union, there's a lot of sexual aesthetics built into the different scenes and props within the film. The rising sun in this video, let's call the sun the masculine energy, the rising up, the macrocosmic sexual masculine energy rising, right? Similar to 2001 and The Dawn of Man, with the rising sun going up and lining up with the moon and the black monolith. You can see the similar imagery. This image right here is from The Weeknd's video, and this image right here is one of the most classic images from 2001: A Space Odyssey, and as you see, they are mirrored parallels to each other. Exactly the same, just flipped upside down. So we have the sun, the masculine, we have the earth, and then we have the moon, which is the feminine. So we have the divine union or sexual union of the sun, moon, and earth. And after this point is when we're introduced to the female character from the video. And yes, at this point she is surrounded in the solar or sunlight, which I said is the masculine. But I believe that's because she's attracted to Starboy at this point. Attracted to his masculine, glistening Starboy Weeknd energy, also because he cut that thing off the top of his head, so she's super attracted to him now. I'm just trying to get you high and faded off this touch, and yes, at that point he does throw up the double OK 666 hand symbols. The phallic masculine touch, the Washington Monument, the phallus of Osiris, 6,666 inches tall, 666 inches wide, right? The phallus, the union at the base level, the base chakra. Carbon is made of 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 6 protons. 666 is just a number associated with base animalistic connection, which is obviously can also be attributed to sexuality. 23 chromosomes from each partner. And obviously there's nothing necessarily bad about sexual union between man and woman, but when it's purely only at a base animalistic level and there's not a connection at a higher spiritual level in the mind and the spirit, then it's purely a connection at the base 666 level, which is purely animalistic and not of higher connection. So the female energy is fully drawn into Starboy or The Weeknd, and then that parallels on a macrocosmic level with this celestial alignment in the stars. And here's a very similar looking piece of imagery from 2001: A Space Odyssey, and here's some phallic looking and sexual objects and props from the film. So now that the female has been drawn in, it's now her turn to attract him with her moonlight energy, hence the switch in the background, with the moonlight being cast down onto him, switching and reversing the roles of the solar energy. At the point of solar and lunar union, right after that we are shown this, red and blue, which is another way of signifying the union of duality or masculine and feminine. Here's a Lana Del Rey music video that came out a few weeks ago with the same 2001 A Space Odyssey imagery within it. And they connect Lana Del Rey with the moon because obviously she's a chick. And then we have these kids that are crazy, crazy, crazy in love, as the lyrics go in the video. And they're driving in a red car to Saturn. And Saturn is death. So, I'm not sure what that symbolizes. Well, yeah, I actually do know what that symbolizes. American culture. So back to the weekend video, the union of perfect balance is complete, but then at that point, the solar sun is eclipsed. And at the exact point that the sun, the solar energy, right, the energy of the divine father, or God, you could say, at that exact point, the girl playing the divine feminine, or Eve, is turned to stone, the archetype of Eve, symbolizing the fall from heaven, or the fall from Eden, or Lucifer crashing down to earth through a lightning bolt, right? The path which consciousness takes from heavens down onto earth, and the separation between the masculine and the feminine. The weekend is fragmented into 3 different images. Maybe this is alluding to Father, Son, Holy Spirit, or a Trinity sort of thing, as consciousness descends and is fragmented down onto earth. And just to confirm that this is all meant to symbolize the fall, the serpent slithers away from the divine feminine, or Eve. Eve L. And now the weekend, or the divine masculine, the divine mind, is chasing the serpent, the bearer of knowledge or fruit, in order to get back to heaven, or the perfect union between the divine masculine and feminine, which you could call Eden. But the fall led to human mortality and the separation between spirit and matter, so now matter decays. So now he experiences death because he fell from Eden or heaven. There's an ice age because consciousness is removed from this plane of existence, but his pink heart is buried within the ice. And that connects into the pink cross that he used in the Starboy video, indicating that the next video in this series will be about the resurrection, which you call the resurrection of the sun, because in this video he plays the fallen father consciousness, right? That descends into the underworld, is encapsulated into the ice. And I guarantee that the next video will be all about, allegorically, the resurrection of the son, from the fallen father back into the resurrected son that comes out of the underworld, or the encapsulated ice, with the aid of the transhuman Daft Punks. And at that point, he will be just like Dave Bowman, defeating Hal in his own way, and be realized as the Starboy the weekend. So, hopefully you found that to be interesting. If not, please dislike right now. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Just a simple touch and it can set you free.